Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Ross. I'm a photographer and video maker from Northern Ireland. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So if you've seen any of my most recent videos, you'll know that I'm falling in love with film photography and recreating the film photography look with the likes of Fujifilm Recipes. But what about video? I've always classed myself as like a videographer, like Ross, the guy that makes videos, and then photography is just something extra that I do that like is more of like a hobby or a passion. I do get paid for it, thankfully, but I just feel like I know so much about video and what it takes to create a promotional video or like a music video, and lighting and shots and how to edit shots together, all that sort of stuff. Like I've been doing that since I was 12 years old, something like that. So very early on in my video making career, like so many other people out there, I'm sure, I discovered overlaid footage. So film grain overlays or light leak overlays, basically like video clips or scans of real film grain that you place on top of your footage. That's kind of the style that I've always chased, is that like film-like look for my promotional videos or my music videos. I'm always adding these overlays to try and give a more human touch to the digital footage. I'm obviously not unique in that. So many other people have that same style, little like light leaks. There are millions of assets out there that you can buy and paste on top of your footage. Change the blending mode and it gives you like a more film-like look. There's something about photographs and videos that look like they've been shot on film that draws you to them. There's a bit of grain and a bit of blooming in the highlights. I don't know what it is. It's like maybe nostalgia or something, but I think you feel more connected to it because it looks more like human. There are mistakes in it, you know? I think with like the advancement of AI and things like that, there'll be more people shooting film basically. AI's pushing digital imaging this way. And I think to balance that out, there'll be like a massive revival in analog photography. So anyway, enough rambling, on to the point of today's video, and that is to talk about this new piece of software, a plugin for Premiere that I'm trying, called Dehancer. If you haven't seen it, where have you been? This software, if you've seen the results of it, it is so powerful. Basically in this plugin, you can create realistic film grain, you can add halations to your footage, you can bloom your footage so you don't need that Pro Mist filter, you can add like film breathing, all these little subtleties to your digital footage to make them a bit more human basically, and help tell the story that you're trying to tell with the aesthetic that you want to tell it in. I am so lucky that Dehancer reached out to me. They saw my videos and they were like, yo, give our software a try, and I said I absolutely will, because if I like it, I'm definitely going to get myself a full license and use it for editing all my future videos. So yesterday, my friend Lewis was home for the weekend. He lives in London, but he was back in Northern Ireland for a few days. So I met up with him for a coffee yesterday morning. I brought with me my Fujifilm X-H2S and just shot a bunch of footage of Lewis walking around, loading some film into his film camera, and yeah, just shot some random footage. I didn't really know what I was going to do with it, so brought the footage home. I opened Premiere Pro, brought the footage in and started playing with Dehancer. Dehancer comes with a whole pile of film profiles, which are basically like LUTs that you can add to your footage to replicate the look of films, the color of certain film stocks. Thankfully now I've done a bit of film photography myself and spend a lot of time watching videos of other people shooting film. I am familiar with a few of these film stocks. So there were a couple that jumped out at me straight away. After a few hours of playing about, pushing sliders and buttons and stuff, I ended up with 5 looks that I'm pretty happy with. I don't know if Dehancer recipes are a thing, but they are now. So I just wanted to share those looks that I created on my first day of editing with Dehancer. So here's the footage of Lewis that I edited down. It's just like 20 seconds long, shot on the X-H2S F-Log2. This is it just with the Fujifilm F-Log2 to Rec 709 LUT on it, no Dehancer. Now here's that same footage of Lewis, but with the Cinestill 50D film profile from Dehancer. Cinestill film, as you probably know, is motion picture film that the remjet layer has been removed, and that creates the halations. So I wanted to create this Cinestill 50D look and add those amazing halations that you can with Dehancer. Here's the second look that I created, the Ilford XP2 Super 400 look. XP2 is the film that I've shot with before, and so I had a real life reference point to compare my film photographs to this footage, and I think I got it pretty close. Maybe in the future, if I shoot a roll of XP2 and then shoot some footage with it, I can use this Dehancer Recipe to match my footage with the film stock. The next Dehancer look that I created is the Kodak Aerocolor 4.1, so that's Washi X, Flickfilm, Electra, Santacolor, all those films. It has a really strong red tone, so I added halation to this footage and diffused the halation across the whole thing to kind of give it that red glow that Aerocolor has. I don't know if it looks like film, but it's vibrant and really saturated and a nice, definitely a Kodak look. So yeah, on to the next one. For the next look, I wanted to see how Dehancer recreates the look of Fujicolor film, specifically Fujicolor Superior 1600, which is a film stock I really like. There are really nice green and magenta tones that are present with all Fujicolor film stocks, but there's quite a lot of grain as this is a ISO 1600 film stock. So again, I really like the results of this Dehancer Recipe that I created, the Superior 1600 one. In the real world, you might be using this film stock if you had it for nighttime shots and then opening your aperture quite a lot, which would bloom the highlights on a film camera. So I thought I would add a bloom to this Dehancer Recipe. The last Dehancer Recipe I created is using Dehancer's Kodak Gold film profile. Kodak Gold is one of those film stocks that I haven't shot, but I've got so many rolls stockpiled to shoot in the future. So anyone who's watching this, keep an eye out for when I shoot my first roll of Kodak Gold. I'm sure I'll make a video about it. So after creating these 5 separate looks within Dehancer, I wanted to take my favorite one, which is the Cinestill 50D, and really take it too far. I wanted to test out a few of the other things that you can do with Dehancer, like adding a vignette and gate weave and film breathing and push the halation and see how far you can take it. Also, I added a few other assets on top, like a 4.3 letterbox and some film perforations and a few scratches, things like that, and see if we can get a kind of grungy Super 8 sort of style look with 6K f-log2 footage. Dehancer sent me a document with a bit of history about the company, and it made me laugh that it used to be called the Worsizer, which is a hilarious name. I think they should have kept it as the Worsizer, but basically that's what this plugin does. It makes your digital footage look worse. Not really worse, but in doing so, it makes it look better. It makes it look more human, it makes it look more natural, nostalgic, basically all the best qualities of film you can add to your digital footage using Dehancer. So Dehancer do a demo that you can download and try out for free. It just has a watermark over the footage, so you can't export any of that footage, but you can try out all the settings and options that Dehancer provide. If you try out the free trial and you do decide it's for you, you can use my 10% off promo code. It's Ross on his JPEGs. That'll get you 10% off your order if you decide to order it. No pressure. It might not be for everyone, but why don't you test out the free trial and see for yourself. I just want to say thank you so much to the Dehancer team for appreciating the videos and sending a key my way to test out for a month and to do a review in exchange. It really means a lot to me that companies are out there and they see my videos and people like you are watching the videos. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video soon. Have a good day. Bye. The last Dehancer recipe I created is based on Kodak Gold. So using the Kodak Gold, shut up.